A very good evening, everyone. Batch 11 Ghana. Welcome to Triple M Ghana Batch 11 Ghana School Business Games presentation. My name is Kuzayo Lokani, your mentor, moderator, and admin. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you had a pleasant weekend all along. Okay. Before we get to start, okay. Before we get to start, can I have the names of the team leaders in the chat box, or anyone who's going to present for us tonight? Would you kindly share the document in the chat box? Would you kindly share the document in the chat box? Mr. Mashud, I have the names of those people who volunteered to lead the team. Can you kindly write your names in the chat box before I go search for myself? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, would you kindly rate my sound projection from 1 to 10? If you can hear me, would you kindly rate my sound projection 1 to 10? 10 if you can hear me loud and clear. 5 is poor and it needs adjustment. 3, 2, 1 if you can hardly hear me. 8 is okay. Thank you, Mr. Isaac. Okay, who's going to present for us tonight? Okay, let me do this easy way out. I'm going to just pick a name. Okay, I'm just going to pick a name. Okay, Stella. Okay, Stella, can you see the document that I've just shared in the chat box? Stella, kindly confirm if you received the document that I just shared via the chat box as well as via Skype. Stella, is my sound bad? Who else can hardly hear me? Who else can hardly hear me? Who else can hardly hear me, guys? Okay, I've just shared the document in the chat box. Anyone who can read it for us? Anyone who can present for us tonight? You don't have to read everything on the document. You just summarize what's written there. Anyone who's willing to lead the team tonight? Guys, on times like this, I need action. I need people who willing to stand in for everyone. Are you telling me all that no one is in a position to present? Thank you, Mr. Salom. You can take over. Thank you. I've just shared the document now. Tonight we are in the presence of great honor. Mr. Zwani is here to for your presentation. So kindly take over and make it count. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Salom.
Good evening.
Would you kindly speak up a little bit? We can hear you, but it's very faint.
Yes. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Thank you. You can take over.
Okay. Thank you very much. Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Salong Duble, and I am going to present tonight our business games. And for the first task, we were told that we've received all the information needed in order to become managers or leaders in the MMM global community. Now you have an important task. Enter in a new country and develop MMM Global there. This new country will be Nigeria. As a starting resources, you have internet, a team, knowledge received in the school, $50,000. And you, within 40 minutes, you have to develop a plan of actions for a week. You must specify the number of registrations and contributions you achieve over this period. So this is our solution. Now we started with the current population of Nigeria, which is about 191,157,937. And the major religion we checked was Christianity and Islam, and their official languages is English, but normally they speak a pidgin language. And our main aim is to go and develop MMM Global in Nigeria. And these are the activities we are going to do or perform. The first activity is to set up a website, MMM Nigeria. Then afterwards, we are going to establish a social presence, meaning that all team members will create Facebook accounts and YouTube channels and share videos on ideology of MMM and the benefits that we get from MMM. Also, we are going to launch MMM awareness campaign in major towns, markets, malls, and university environments. We are also going to organize seminars using handbills, t-shirts, caps, and posters. We are also going to send email and mock SMSs. After that, we are then going to divide Nigeria into 10 districts, and team members are to divide themselves and advertise across these districts. Then work begins from the most populated city, which is Lagos in southern Nigeria. Meeting individuals on the streets and telling them about the ideology of MMM, and then letting them know that being a social financial institution, the youth is a period of one MMM Global Community. And this is the budget that we have. Looking at the budget, we are going to make, the first item is going to be accommodation and feeding, and we are going to take 10 rooms. And for the week, which will cost $3,500. We are also going to take transportation, which will cost $2,500. We are also going to take the venue for the seminar, which will last for 6 days, and we've capped it at $200 per day, and which will be around $1,200. And then for handbills and then banners, we are going to take 10,000 handbills and then 100 banners, and that will cost us around $2,000. Caps and t-shirts, the quantity is 300, so $5 per t-shirt and cap, which will give us $1,500. And then looking at the bulk SMS for 1 week, which will cost us about $300. And then creation of a website, which will cost us about $3,000. And looking at the total amount, we are going to spend $13,000. So the leftover after spending $13,000, we are going to get $37,000, which is equivalent to Nigerian Naira 11,645,750. Now, looking at the tools and knowledge that we've acquired, we are going to look at internet. And then it says that the residents should be located to high-speed broadband environment for good communication, so that the spreading of MMM message will be easier. Then we also can, because we've gone through the guidance school, we also have obtained some knowledge. And then creating Facebook accounts. These are some of the tools we are talking about. Creating a community page and boosting it with a daily budget. Also having a Gmail account, Google Documents, and spreadsheet. The ability to create a school or training in cloud while preserving MMM ideologies. YouTube channels, creating a team, also preparing our plan, and then continuing to form groups on Facebook as well as social media, and that is one of the most important place where we can advertise or let people know about the ideology of MMM. Now, the team should hold a week awareness campaign in Nigeria for the promotion of MMM. So we shall engage the services of a protocol officer who will act as our tour guide in major cities where we will intend to set up and carry out massive campaign and promote MMM. On the team's arrival in Nigeria, we shall secure an apartment for a period of stay. We shall also engage the services of some locals for interpretation when necessary. For ease of communication, a brief introduction of MMM to a government representative and our mission to the city. Also, we shall engage the services of a community-based transportation for movement in and around the cities. We shall also carry our massive campaign by advertising, printing of banners, MMM, t-shirts, flyers, etc. Provision of food and drinks, all these will be the activities. We shall also engage security, so for the safety of the lives of the MMM participants and other people who we are also going to deal with. So that is for task 1. Moving to task 2, it is saying that a week has passed and then average contribution to the structure is around $100. Under the regulations of MMM Global, you must provide at least 30% growth in terms of participants' payments, starting with the first contribution.
Give me your
Hello? Okay, I'm continuing. And under the regulations of MMM Global, you must provide at least 30% growth in terms of participants' payments, starting with the first contributions. Your task is to calculate how many new members and contributions you have to ensure in the next 3 weeks in order to be able to make the required payments to the older participants. It is necessary to write down your plan of actions for the next 3 weeks. So, looking at what we are going to do under task 2, where we already have our resources and how we are going to use them, we are looking at the total number of persons to be registered in the first week. So we look at 200. We pegged it at 200. And we know that the average contribution is supposed to be $100. So total contribution for, that is the PH for 1 week, is going to be $20,000 because when we multiply the 200 people or participants by the $100, we are supposed to get $20,000, which is equivalent to 6,295,000 naira. So left over from 50,000, we have $37,000. That was from the previous budget we created. So when we add that to the PH or the total contribution for that 1 week, we are going to get $57,000, which is equivalent to 24,235,750 naira. Now, looking at this, it will not end there because we are not supposed to stay at our day providing. What we are going to do is that we can then charge the room and more participants. Now that we have established people in the system, it is time to start training managers and guiders and bring some kind of sensitization where you sensitize them for joining the MMM movement by increasing their earnings so that they can dedicate more energy. The number of new participants will increase based on the fact that managers will be energized to bring more people in the system. So that is what we are going to do for tax 2 within that 1 week. After we've got that amount, doesn't mean we should stay. We are also going to continue to urge the members to bring more people on board to make the system strong and running. Now moving to tax 3, a month has passed, and now you are 100 plus manager, 100 manager. The same plan for another month on the basis of the results of previous calculations, taking into account the dynamics of growth. So the number of new participants and contributions for the next 4 weeks. Now this is the ideas or the solutions we got up. Now we are assuming that if 100 provider come from 100 participants at $100 each, we are going to have $10,000. So if these 100 participants provide $100 each, then we are going to get $10,000. So in order for the 100 to PH to be paid their 30% bonuses, will also be considered as participants will be given additional $20 on their $100. That means that 30% of 100 participants equals $30. So $30 interest for each of 100 participants. Therefore, $3,000 will be the additional interest for all the 100 participants. So the $20 bonus will also be calculated by the number of participants, while we have the total amount to be $2,000. So considering the interest and then the bonus, there will be an additional sum of $5,000 to be generated by the system. So when we look at it mathematically, if 50 participants in regular get help or GH and re-PH of the 100 participants request for get help, the calculation will be, when we multiply 50 participants by $100, we should get $5,000. Now the $20 bonus of the 50 participants PH will be $10,000. So 30% of 50 participants PH of $100 will then be $30 times that 50 participants, which will amount to $1,500. So therefore, the total amount of the 50 participants GH will be addition of bonus and then interest, which will therefore amount to $7,500. So at this time, there will only be the sum of $2,500 from the total PH of $10,000 as 50 participants get help. So meaning that $10,000 minus the $7,500, which gives us $2,500. So in this case, if the 50 participants pre-PH or provide help while withholding their interest and bonus, $5,000 will be added to the reserve amount of $2,500 to make it $7,500, which will be sufficient for the next 50 participants to get help. But in a case where there is no re-PH, we shall be compelled to make sure that there is additional income of the sum of $5,000 to add to the reserve of $2,500 to make it $7,500 for the next 50 participants who get help. Therefore, who gets help? Sorry. Now with this, there shall be the addition of nothing less than 150 participants in the next 4 weeks to make the cycle grow, so that the cycle continues on and on for as long as the principle of regular GH and re-PH remains. So therefore, to keep the system working, we have to recruit and train more guiders, organize seminars, do social media campaign, and this will bring more participants into on board. Now moving to tax 4. Now after 2 months, you have the number of participants and contribution, which you calculated earlier. Now you should calculate what you need to organize within the next month. A week after the start of the month, there is a local Nigerian holiday, which is celebrated during a week, respectively. In this period, the number of registrations falls by 75%. Make a plan of actions for a month. What resources, how you should use them, specify the amount of contributions and participants necessary for the development of the community. Important, $50,000 is given only once. Later on, you should use the free resources from the community. Now this is a solution. Now, when registration activities falls drastically by 75%, we get under the pause mode and waste time. This means that all contributions in Nigeria MMM are divided into two parts, before and after the pause announcement. We can then also stop the growth of Mavro pending when registration activities return to normal. We may also extend the number of days left until defrost, so that even if you have provided help, your Mavro will return green, will not turn green, whether they will be frozen and will turn blue. We delay a bit the rate at which they provide help pledge gets matched with get help. So that is the solution for tax 4. Now with tax 5, despite the fact that the plan worked out, you do not have enough new registrations, new contributions to cover the costs of the current contribution. Moreover, you have a reduction of the amount of contributions, which is 20%, a reduction of 20%. It is necessary to analyze the plan of actions in this situation. What are the resources? How many participants, contributions, etc. needed to get the situation resolved? Due to lack of funds, there are delays in payments. The old participants seeing that neither make their own contribution nor attract new members. So we have to describe our plan of action for the next 1 month, that is 4 weeks, the solutions we will invent, and what actions we will actually take to state the amount of provided help and registration that are expected in this month. Now, since our plan didn't work, we don't have enough new registrations and new deposits to cover the costs of the current deposits. We need to go back to task 1 and start the process all over again, see where we went wrong. But first of all, we need to establish the following. How much contributions are needed? How many participants do we need to continue? What other resources are to be put in place? Then we will have to go back to the basics. We carry out the following activities in order to save MMM Nigeria from a restart, and also to achieve and surpass the shortfall in tax 4. The following mechanism can be used to stabilize the community work in such situations. 1, we should encourage participants constantly, both new and old, to provide more help. 2, encourage participants to register more people into MMM. 3, train more guidance to work alongside the initial ones. 4, organize a conference meeting with participants, informing them of the situation to avoid widespread panic and misinformation. In addition, we would embark on massive campaign and outreach in different regions visited or yet to be visited to make up for the loss in the past month, thus enabling us to meet the desired target and covering more states, cities, regions as well. We are going to ensure that intense publicity is being carried out to the newly registered participants by using available means such as TV adverts, blogs, text messages, Dialog, SMS, fax, mails, etc. to instill MMM rules and regulations as well as ideology among the populace or population. We are going to introduce offline events whereby participants go to the community to educate them on the ideology of MMM, explain reasons to the members, and encourage them that it will last for sometimes 2.5 months at most, and most importantly, while the Mavro will be removed. We are also to make an effort to eradicate fear, because no one loses money by time. We must still emphasize on awareness creation. We could do more door-to-door campaign, organize more training, and give people a better understanding of the system. We can also use testimonials from older participants to attract new members, and that is very important. Use testimonials from older participants and participants who exist to attract new members. Also, guidance should be more responsible and responsive guidance must be more responsible and responsive. Also, guidance should also reach out to more people via the social media platform, like the use of Facebook, etc., just to push more people to MMM, to bring out that appetite to be part of MMM. Now looking at task 6, during this month delay in payments increased to 7 days. Referral activity almost reduced to 0. The old members do not attract anyone and do not make contributions too. In virtue of this, a pause mode is implemented in which all the old Marvels are frozen and will be available for withdrawal. When the situation will be right itself, new contributions go as per old conditions, are not frozen and available as usual. Make your plan of action for another month using your resources, contributions, members, etc. And this is the solution. Since pause mode has been introduced, the first person to contact by participants are the guiders. Therefore, the guiders should introduce what is called the put in dealing with participants. And put means P, patience, U, understanding, and T, tolerance in dealing and explaining to participants what pause mode means, its reason for introduction, and the benefits of pause mode. 2, we are supposed to rebuild trust by showing past experiences of the program to participants. Also, we need to assure participants that pause mode won't be more than 2 to 3 months, after which the system will be stabilized again. Guidance will also increase the awareness and encourage members to PH as little as possible in masses. And this can be done by educating them through seminars and other offline events. Also, existing members need to know that money comes from new recruits, and therefore invite new members and get 10% of PH amount released from their old Marvel. A time frame should be introduced on PH after GH. Example, a participant should PH immediately within 3 to 5 days after getting help. It must not be less than his or a former PH. You should also sell MMM through the media and to debunk all false information about MMM. Also, at this stage, or at that stage, guiders have to do everything possible to make people believe in the system. Perception of participants about the community at this crucial time is very, very important. Guiders should let participants know the implications of them not bringing new participants and also not giving out their PH regularly, which will result in the pause mode. We mustn't relax on the awareness creation because it's during this period that members panic and this affects the system. Guiders and members should be charged to keep calm in the community. There should be more PH. Now, task 7. Efforts have been made insufficient to reverse the situation. A restart took place. All the old Marvels are removed. We start to work from the beginning. Serious negative impacts of the members and unfavorable responses. 1 or 2 and this is the solution. And we think that the first solution is that guiders and these managers must face the situation and talk to members and let them understand the restart mode of the system. Inform participants that restart mode was introduced because they allowed panic, which is a major threat to MMM, further them. Also, we must use the same media to explain to members that what the restart mode is, and reminding them that of the warning given them when they were registering. Also, reintroduction of MMM to residents, inform them on MMM ideology and how it works, and encourage new participants to provide help more. We try as much as possible to provide adequate answers to all queries from participants and explain the current situation of MMM. We are to organize a meeting with all our members and encourage them to continue in MMM community. We explain the situation to those that lost their money, reminding them about the warning note given before joining. We are going to show video testimonials, history and experiences of other countries that had restart. We will keep being a good leader. Guidance must keep being a good leader, even if it's shortcomings that led to the current situation, by also continuing to PH and GA timely and inviting new members into the system. We must emphasize the essence of being a health provider to the community. Also, we must contact managers in other countries that have experienced similar situations, take cue from the experience, and make plans on how to revive MMM. We also need to count the effect of social media on the issue by exposing the banking sector as our strong point. We are also to explain that MMM aims to destroy the unjust financial system of today. We must also teach guidance to consistently and transparently impact the ideology